Today, we're going to totally transform how you think about exercise. We're getting past the idea of just working out and diving deep into the actual science of training for peak performance. Let's get right into it.
I mean, it's a great question, isn't it? You see one person grinding it out in the gym for hours and not much changes, while an athlete follows a very specific plan and hits these incredible performance peaks. The difference isn't just about sweating more, it's about strategy. It's like the difference between just wandering around in the woods and actually following a map to a specific destination.
And that map, well, that's the science of sports training. The key phrase here is planned and controlled process. Nothing is left to chance. It's a deliberate system built from the ground up on scientific principles, all designed to get you very specific results. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This chart here is a macro cycle, basically a bird's eye view of a whole year of training. And look how it's broken down. You've got these preparatory periods to build a solid foundation, competition periods where you're meant to peak, and then transitional periods for recovery. Every single workout you do has a place in this giant puzzle. It's not just about what you do today, it's about how today fits into the whole year.
So if that macro cycle is the big picture, let's zoom all the way into the micro level, the things you have to do in every single session. And that always starts with the two non-negotiable bookends, the warm-up and the cool-down.
We've all been told to do it, but let's be honest, how many of us do it right? A proper warm-up isn't just about going through the motions. Simple stuff, like a light jog or some arm circles, they have a very clear purpose, to gently get your heart rate up and get the blood flowing, basically telling your body, okay, we're about to do something.
But why is it so absolutely crucial? Well, the benefits are huge for your body and your mind. Warming up literally makes your muscles warmer, more pliable, which seriously reduces your risk of pulling or tearing something. It speeds up your reaction time, gets oxygen where it needs to go, and even helps you mentally lock in on what you're about to do. Skipping the warm-up is kind of like trying to redline your car engine the second you turn it on in the middle of winter. You just don't do it.
And then, on the flip side, you've got the cool down, or limbering down. So, if the warm-up is getting the plane ready for takeoff, the cool down is making sure it has a smooth landing. It's just a series of gentle exercises that let your body gradually shift back to a resting state. This really helps to kickstart that all-important recovery process.
All right, so our bookends are in place. Let's dig into the first major building block of fitness, endurance. You can think of this as your body's ability to just keep going, to sustain an activity for a long time. It's basically your physical battery life.
So, how do we charge up that battery? Well, science has given us three main ways to do it: continuous training, interval training, and a really fun one called fartlek. Let's break each one down.
First up, we've got the old classic, continuous training. This is probably what pops into your head when you hear the word cardio. It's all about keeping a steady, manageable pace for a long time. We're talking 30 minutes, an hour, maybe more, with no breaks. It is fantastic for building that solid aerobic base. Next, we have interval training, which completely flips that idea on its head. Instead of one long, slow burn, you do short, explosive bursts of really high-intensity work, followed by periods of rest or low-intensity recovery. It's this cycle of on, then off that's the magic here. It lets you work at an intensity you could never, ever hold continuously.
And this picture perfectly captures our third method, fartlek. It's a Swedish word that means speed play, and that's literally what it is. Think of it as a less structured, more playful version of interval training. You use whatever is around you to change up the intensity. Maybe you sprint to that tree, then jog up that hill, then walk across the sandy patch. It's all spontaneous, and it keeps your body guessing.
Okay, let's move on to our next major component, strength. If endurance is all about how long you can go, strength is about how much force you can generate to overcome resistance. Now, when it comes to building strength, we can train three fundamental types of muscle contractions, and this table breaks it down so well. First, you have isometric. This is static. Imagine pushing against a brick wall. Your muscles are on fire, but they aren't actually changing length. Then you've got isotonic, which is what we usually think of as weightlifting. Your muscles shorten and lengthen to move a weight. Finally, there's isokinetic, which uses specialized machines to make sure the speed of your movement stays constant through the whole range of motion.
And here's a perfect visual of that contrast. On the left, that's an isometric exercise, pushing the wall. There's a ton of muscular tension, but zero visible movement. Then, on the right, you've got circuit training. This is a brilliant example of dynamic, isotonic exercises where you're constantly moving from one station to the next, building both strength and endurance at the same time.
Okay, so we've nailed down endurance and strength, Now, to get the complete picture of what it means to be fit, let's do a quick lightning round on the other essential pieces of the puzzle.
First up, speed. Seems pretty straightforward, right? It's how fast you can perform a movement. It's a direct result of your strength and your technique working together, and it is absolutely critical in pretty much every sport out there.
Next, flexibility. And hey, this is way more than just being able to touch your toes. It's about the full, maximum range of motion in your joints. Having good flexibility means you can move more efficiently, and just as important, it helps you stay injury-free.
And finally, coordinative ability. You might call it agility. This is the magic ingredient that holds everything else together. It's your ability to move with grace and efficiency, to change direction on a dime without falling over. This is what separates someone who is just strong from someone who is truly athletic.
So we've looked at all these different parts of the puzzle. Let's zoom back out and see how it all fits together. Because the real theme here, as you probably figured out, is about training smarter, not just harder.
So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Real effective fitness is never random. It doesn't happen by accident. It is a complete system. It's a scientific process of building up your endurance, your strength, your speed, your flexibility, and your coordination, all together.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint. You now understand the huge difference between just being active and having a real training plan. You know the core components of fitness and the science behind how to improve them. So the only question left to ask is, how are you going to use this knowledge to build your best self?